Yo, what's good, YouTube fam? Shoot that hoe to bars. What are you talking about? We are here in the building, y'all. What is poppin'? What is good? What is poppin'? What is good, YouTube fam, man? It is day 2. Dang, well, it doesn't feel like I've been back here for 2 days, but I've been back here from 2 days, man, from Miami, man, and I just wanted to give y'all a recap of the trip. I know y'all tapped in with the vlogs, 4-day vlogs. If you haven't checked those out, make sure y'all check them out, man. They were lit, and it was a good time. It was a very good time, and I'm very grateful that I went. So on this video, right, what I want to break down is, you know, what I gained from this trip, what I gained from this experience. And, you know, I know that I made a video kind of like my mindset going into it before I booked the trip versus, like, you know, just living in flow and just living for experience and just kind of just, you know, taking that leap of faith. And I want to now reflect and give you guys that insight of, you know, if I felt like it was valuable, if it paid off, what I gained from it, and so forth, right? What's that smell? All right. So I typically, when I make these videos, a lot of the times I am going off the dome. I'm just, you know, letting, you know, spirit, letting my mind kind of just go and flow. But I do have some talking points. What I want to talk about, like I said, was my experience on this trip, right? My experience before the trip, my mindset, right? I was thinking in a scarcity mindset. I was overthinking. I was in doubt, you know. I was like, dang, should I do it? I was about to, you know, back out on it. But then I'm just like, you know, make sure you just watch the video where I'm at the airport before I went to Miami. I break all this down. Make sure you watch that video because I don't want to go through everything. But just long story short, I was skeptical. I was doubtful. I was living in a scarcity mindset. I was like, you know, is this a responsible choice to make? You know, I could be investing this bread that I'm about to, you know, spend on this trip. You know, should I really go? Even though the opportunity seemed so aligned, you know, from both what I'm into, the opportunity for me to have a place to stay, and just the way that things worked out. It was just like, yo, like, this is a door that's opening. You've been saying you want to go to Miami. You've been wanting to go to Art Basel. You missed NFT NYC. You want to build within Web3. You want to network within Web3. Like, why not, right? And I just want to say, y'all, the experience, what I got from this trip was, it was everything. You know, I'm very, very grateful that I invested the bread. Money comes and goes. That's one thing. It's like, one thing about us, y'all, is we're going to make money and we're going to spend money. You feel me? And it's like, what you choose to do with your money is what matters, right? The difference between poor people and rich or wealthy people is poor people have the mindset, okay, they're going to make money to pay bills, right? Whereas rich and wealth people make money to make more money, right? To buy back their freedom, to invest into themselves, to invest into experiences, to open up perspective, to invest into, you know, whether it be business, themselves, education, mentorship, real estate. We don't want to just get so used to making money just to spend it on paying bills. Even though that's important, pay your credit, you know what I'm saying? Get out of debt, you know what I'm saying? Pay your bills. But also, man, enjoy this time that you have on earth. You feel me? Like, enjoy this time that you have on earth, but not only enjoy it, but invest into yourself so that you can truly free yourself out this rat race, out this matrix, whatever you want to call it. You feel me? Because the thing about what I got from this experience can't be taken away, right? And that's the first thing I want to talk about, is the power of exposure. The power of exposure. And this is why a lot of times, like, a few months ago, I invested to go to a mastermind in Atlanta, Pushman Mitch's mastermind, and I spent, you know, just to be a part of the mastermind was a K, right? And 1,000 is pretty cheap for a mastermind. You know, you pay anywhere between 5, 10, 20K for mentorship, you know, depending on the level of mentorship and business that you're at. But in a short sense, the power of exposure, being around certain people, seeing certain things, being exposed. One thing about the power of exposure is once you're exposed to certain things, it can't be unseen. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that a lot of the people there, even at the mastermind, was talking about. Like, when you see and you're around an entrepreneur who makes 10K, just like pulls out their phone, boom, makes 10K, that's something that you cannot unsee. Your whole perspective, your whole reality is shifted. You feel me? When you go to Art Basel and you see an art piece that gets sold for multiple six figures. That's something that you, in person right there, that's something that you can't unsee. When you walk into a mansion, right? When you for example, I got, we was with a homie from New York, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, man, I ain't seen a lot of this before, man. Like, this is like opening up a whole new world. When you walk in, into a mansion and it's got, fire paintings, in terms of Basquiat paintings, and you're walking on marble floors, and you're walking on the beach and you're seeing Ferrari. Certain things, once you're exposed to it, it can't be unseen. Now you're like, okay, this is possible. When I go outside and I see an 18-year-old pull up in a Lambo, certain things can't be unseen. It's possible. And it's not just the material things, but even if you saw, whether it be a goddamn alien come down right now. That's not what I'm saying, but the power of exposure. Once you get exposed to things, it can't be taken away. It can't be unseen, and it shifts your perspectives. It shifts your mind, right? So that's something that I think is very powerful, and that's something that definitely impacted me, right? That power of exposure. When I was in Soho House in Miami, that shit was lit. Like, not lit in terms of it like party lit, but it was lit in terms of the type of people that was there, the type of environment that was there, the type of cars that were outside, the vibe of the beach, the water. When I got into that water, when I saw that blue water, that power of exposure shifted my mind, where I'm like, man, I'll fuck around and move out to Miami. You feel me? Like, power of exposure. That in experience in itself is priceless. You get me? Like, that in itself was definitely priceless for me. And then also for me to go to, Miami and be at Soho House my first day. I landed at 6 a.m., had a run at 9 a.m., me meeting, Nike trainers and meeting this run group that was sponsored by Nike, certain things like that. Priceless, the network and the connections I built, priceless. I met a beautiful soul out there by the name of Shalini, and I met her day one at that Nike shoot, and it's so powerful because, like, if I didn't go to that the Nike run at 9 a.m., I wouldn't have met Shalini, who we became cool. We had a good conversation. She lives a nomadic life. She's very free-spirited, background in tech, but she literally just lives minimal lifestyle. She travels from, wherever she wants to go. She doesn't have a lot of responsibility and things tying her down to one place. She's a free nomad. And we had a conversation on that, and I, expressed to her that I feel like I want to live very similar to that. I want to go on a world tour. I want to travel. She was like, I see that for you. Like, you give me Caribbean, but I can't believe that you haven't been in the ocean. I can't believe you haven't been to the Caribbean. Like, you seem like a Caribbean boy. And I'm like, I feel like a Caribbean boy. Like, I'm supposed to. But long story short, she became one of my, my close peoples out there. She was getting me into Soho House for the following few days, where I started I started my day the next few days. I would wake up, have some breakfast, go to Soho House, spend most of the day there, and then go to the events. And that has such an impact on my trip, and that would have never happened if I didn't get my ass up and go on that run. I could have easily been like, oh, I'm gonna just sleep in, and then I wouldn't have went to that first Soho event. I would have met Nike trainers, Soho people, cool people, entrepreneurs, creatives, Shalini, and then I wouldn't have had the experience that I had. So that's another thing in terms of just like, you gotta just show up. You gotta show up. You gotta listen to, you gotta take advantage of opportunities that come your way, period. But yeah, the power of exposure. That is something that's very, very important. And I know that my guy Justo from NYC, even when I went to the rave, that was something that was like exposure as well. I'm like, damn, like when I saw bro up there DJing, bro, and the whole crowd, he was just vibing out the whole crowd, bro, and everybody was feeding him energy, and he was giving back, and he was just, and the spotlight was on him. I'm like, man, I fuck around and want to be a DJ. You feel me? It's like power of exposure. Like, it's different. It's levels, bro. Like, club DJ versus what he was doing, bro, they was living, bro. I'm like, bro, in the house music, I did not fuck with house music like that before. I mean, some, but like the way he was mixing it with like some hip hop, some house, with some slow jams, I'm like, shout out James Blake, he was whipping that motherfucker. I'm like, man, I can do that. But power of exposure, you know what I'm saying, and inspiration, so forth. Something else that really shifted my perspective out there was, we're out there for Art Basel, right? We're at Soho House, we're at events, and people, the way that I dress, people think that I'm an artist. People always ask what I do, but especially there during Basel, they're like, are you an artist? Do you have a gallery? Yada, yada. And I'm like, no, I'm not an artist. I'm an entrepreneur, yada, yada. But I'm thinking, bro, I'm like, every time they would ask that, I'm like, I mean, I am an artist, but I didn't want to say that I was an artist because I didn't have like a gallery. I didn't do digital art, or I wasn't a painter or a musician or things like that. But I'm an artist. not only from modeling, not only as creating videos and things like that, but I'm an artist just through my being, through how I dress, to the lifestyle that I live, to, you know what I'm saying, the way that my mind articulates and creates. I am an artist, you feel me? But I had never seen myself and identified as an artist before, you feel me? And I felt like being there really and meeting other people of color that were having galleries and young artists that were being funded and making a living through art, you know what I'm saying? And I know some people that out here as well that make a living through art and things like that, but it's just like also the potentiality behind being an artist and like leaning into that, not only for the financial, but just also just understanding who you are. Like, I am an artist, you know, we are all art, not all of us, I mean, in our own way, but everyone isn't really an artist. Some people just live within their comfort zone and just live normal as hell and just aren't creative. Let's just be honest. But some people take their life and they literally create art from the life that they live, from the jobs and the careers or the businesses or the things that they do, the relationships that they build. It's an art. It's a flow. You feel me? So that was something else that really shifted my mind, where I want to lean into my artistry. You know, I want to make music. I want to do digital art. I want to do physical art. I'm into photography. I'm into videography. I'm into so many things. So for me not to have ever labeled myself or to thought of myself as an artist, I'm like, where does that stem from? Because I used to be an athlete, right? And from athlete, I'm into entrepreneurship. So I just always see myself as entrepreneur, model, athlete, but never really an artist, you know? So that was something else that really shifted my perspective and opened up my mind. And also, like I'm saying, just seeing, you know, and being around other young people of color doing dope stuff in the art space, I'm just like, yo, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Shout out to Shay, the Surrealist. You know, she told me how she did a collab with Mercedes-Benz, and it was just random. They just emailed her, and she was just putting out her art, and they asked for her to do a collaboration with them. And it's just like, she's like, yo, bro, like, just do whatever you want to do, just do it and put it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, period. Shout out to her. Yo, there's a lot of, shout out to my guy Hino, bro. The top, bro, there's so many people. Like, tap in with me on Twitter. I might have them on this show, on this channel as well. But long story short, you know, the experience that I had is worth the money. And, you know, I have fun. I think that I did great between having fun, you know what I'm saying, working on business, working on my own stuff, still working out each day. And it was great. And what I would say is, if you feel like there's an opportunity, even if it doesn't make sense right now, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, but you feel led to it, you feel like this door just opened, you feel like this could really be, this is something that it just aligned too well, but it doesn't make sense right now. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I don't know how it's all gonna work out. Just lean into it and live in flow, right? When I was at the sound bath, I think this was, day 2, there was a sound bath also at Soho House, sponsored by Nike. At the end, she said, you know, I want everybody to think of one word, their intention going into the new year, and everybody, you know, thought of their word. And for me, you know, with the video that I had just made prior to that, it was flow, you know, and that was something that me and the group that I was with, we stood on, you know, in terms of even like, for example, we would be going to events and we'd be carrying bags from other events, and we would have to like lock up. There's a couple of different things that happened that just magically worked out like in a crazy way. And we're like, bro, we got to just flow. Like, forget worrying about this and this and this. Just flow. Just know, but also be detached, right? So what I mean by that is like, know where you're going while also being detached on how you're going to get there. Right? I was told a quote yesterday by my guy TJ, who's a member in the academy, and he said, there's a quote that his grandma says, and it's, God laughs when we make plans, right? And that just resonated with me. I'm like, facts, because it's not our plan, it's God's plan. Like, we know what our passion is, we know what our goal is, we know where we're going, right? But we don't always know how we're gonna get there. Oh, this is my plan. Well, your plan ain't God's plan. God's writing the script. God's writing the playbook. You feel me? So detach from how, what, why. Detach from the future of like, oh, but what about this and what about, detach from all that. Let go and flow. There's a power in letting go. And in order to flow, you must let go. You feel me? Let me see, make sure. Power of experience, you know what I'm saying? Experiencing new things, experiencing, it goes with the power of exposure, the power of experience. Like those are two things that cannot be taken away and cannot be bought. You know what I'm saying? Like things that live on forever and things that shift your perspective, shift your mindset. Like if I would have stayed in Minnesota, my exposure and my mindset would be a lot different than how it is now, since I moved to LA and moved to New York and moved to and went to London for a little while. Like being exposed to those different things, being exposed to the modeling, being exposed to entrepreneurs and creative, my mind is completely different, completely. So I just I want to highlight that. The power of networking. Who you know is more powerful than what you know. You feel me? You can go to school for 20 years. You can meet the right person, and that'll change your life more than school ever did, ever would be. You feel me? Right people, right circle, right community, right person to plug you into. And then sometimes it's not even that direct person. You can meet somebody, and then they introduce you to somebody, and that somebody could end up being your wife or your husband or your business partner. It's just like that, the power of networking, the power of connecting. There's a really good book called Everyone Communicates, Not Everyone Connects. Really good book. Definitely check that out. Oh, I want to say one thing. One thing I will say about these Soho events and Nike sponsoring the events is I got more free Nike gear at these Nike events than I got being a model. And it's funny because I made a few videos back saying, you know, because a lot of people ask, do models get free clothes and so on and so forth. And I'm like, nah, we don't get no free clothes. But when you go to these events and whatnot, free leggings, shorts, t-shirts, things like that. So that's cool. And a lot of so I met a couple of Nike running friends, like people that are into like running marathons and whatnot. And their like team is sponsored by Nike, free gear. So I may become a Nike runner. But overall, I plan on getting sponsored by Nike, by an elite company. You know, I have my own brand, Dope Not Famous, but that's a collective thing. That's a culture. That's something that we are building upon. It's not a fashion brand per se. It's a cultural brand. You feel me? It's streetwear and fashion with fitness and athleisure intertwined in there. You feel me? So you may be fly, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm chilling at the coffee shop. I'm going to the mall. At the same time, I can hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? Take this off. I got the tank under. You know what I'm saying? Pants is comfy, movable. You know, may not be that breathable, you know, because we like the heavy shits. But then you got the shorts under that's like whoop a schwebe. But don't take my ideas. I mean, you can never take ideas from an original creator. It's always gonna flow. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Let me relax a little bit. I feel like I'm a little uptight right now. You feel me? But yeah, man, Miami was a vibe, bro. It was a vibe. I'm very, very grateful. I thank God for getting me out there. I met so many people. I probably met the most people, even at like New York Fashion Week. I feel like I met more people in Miami, and it was more lit in Miami than New York Fashion Week. And that's a heavy statement. But I think part of that is like all the events, all the people out there. Soho House is a must, because like that's everyone's like loading point. Like everybody runs through Soho House. You know what I'm saying? Before the events, after the events, whatever the case may be, whether it's for the gym, the beach, the pool, that mug is lit, man. They got me wanting a membership. And when I go back out to Miami, I'll have a membership. Out here, I'm not that sold because I'm not going to drive there anyways. If it was one down the street, then yeah. But yeah, man. I don't want to take up too much time, so I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So much love, man. Make sure y'all hit the like, hit the subscribe if you are watching, man. Don't just be watching. Show some love. It's free. It's literally free. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, drop a comment. Your boy's been posting every day. We're on the grind. I hope this was helpful. I hope that this inspires y'all to take more leaps, try different things, to, you know what I'm saying, walk in faith, just live in flow. You feel me? Invest into yourself, whether that be in experiences, mentorship. The only reason why I'm able to make money right now on the computer for the last 3-4 years because I took a leap of faith and I invested into myself. You feel me? It's like everything that you want is on the other side of fear, on the other side of risk, right? Risk is potential. Literally, if you're afraid to risk, then you're afraid to reach your potential. Let me say that again. If you're afraid to risk, then you're afraid to reach your potential. Because until you risk, you can never gain what you could truly gain, whether that be a lesson, right? There's no such thing as failure. It's only a lesson. It's only failure if you're like, oh, I failed, I quit. No. You learn something. You got to have that self-awareness to be like, this is what I learned. All right, now let me get back up, dust my shoulders off, and get to it. So behind every risk, there is a reward. It may not be the reward that you want. Again, detach from the outcome that you're expecting from that risk and just allow yourself to risk and flow and be aware so that you can learn and grow. Your boy might be a poet. You don't even know. All right, let me stop playing with y'all. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. I can do this all day. That's why you got to tap in with a podcast. We're going to have some fire people on. Sometimes I get a little too excited. I start talking real fast and I get to mumbling on my words. But we here for the vibes, baby. Yeah, baby. Dope Not Famous on the headwear. It's a culture, not a brand. Let's get it. I mean, it's a brand too, but you know, I had to. All right, peace.